Hi guys, this is Jillian with Once Upon a Time Fitness, and I am a PalFish mentor. And today I want to talk about 10 things that I think that every new teacher at PalFish should know right off the bat. So here we go. All right, so the first thing is I want you to be ready to work. You've taken your interview, you passed your interview, and now you have a test. As soon as you pass that test, you have 3 working business hours before you are actually hired on as a teacher. So remember the availability that you put in there that you have during peak hours, and be ready to work it, because classes can get booked your very first night. In addition to that, if you open up anything before you take your interview, on the section where it says appointments, you can open things up. If you haven't taken your interview yet, those will be for free talk classes, and those can book even before you take your test, because your test is for official kids course classes, but you can still do free talk. If you don't want to do free talk, or you're not familiar enough with it, or you're not planning on working, do not open anything until you have actually passed your interview. That is the number one thing, the number one suggestion that I have for you. Do not start early and do not end early. And the reason for that is, well, if you start early, it's going to be a lot harder to get that 25 minutes in, because these classes are meant to be 25 to 30-minute classes. And if you start early, say you start 15 minutes early, well, now you have to teach for 15 minutes longer, because you cannot start until the timer says 0. That's when your timer starts. When your timer starts is when your class starts. So if you start early, you're going to hurt yourself, because you're going to have to teach more and expand more and make the lesson longer. And also, the students didn't pay for a longer lesson. And if it's a trial student, you really don't want to set that precedent to where they think that they can get a 45-minute lesson, because it's actually a 25-minute lesson. So make sure you don't start early. If you end early, say you log into the classroom, the student's already there. Oh my goodness, what do? You start teaching. Okay, well, I've done 30 minutes of a class, and you leave. Well, now you've left 15 minutes early, and you get an absence, and you get fined, and you get money taken away from you, your very first class, because you did not teach the full 25-minute class, because you started too early, and the camera doesn't start, the time doesn't start until it reaches 0. Anything that is before that does not count towards class time. And that leads me to number 3. Change your default camera setting. The camera default is set to be turned on as soon as you enter the classroom. Don't do that, because some students will come into the classroom and log in an hour early. They will log in an hour early. I don't know why, but they do it. And then you log in to your classroom because you're going to practice your slides or whatever. You log in there, there's a student there. Oh my goodness, they can see you. What do? You start teaching class. Don't do that. If your camera is set to off before you even come into the classroom, you're not going to have that problem, because they're not even going to know you're there. They're not going to see you. So as soon as you get done watching this video, I want you to go and change your default camera setting. There's another video that I can link at the end of this video to take you right to the steps. It's a quick, like 30-second video, just going to show you really quickly how you can change your default camera settings. But that is really important, especially if you're new and you're going in and you're reviewing the slides before you start teaching. Number 4, get to know your mentor and your admin groups. So your mentor is another teacher. Like, I'm one of the mentors for PalFish. Your mentor is another teacher who knows how to teach. They've been through the ropes. They know what they're doing. They are there to help you. Every new teacher that is hired now gets a mentor. And keep in mind, this mentor is mentoring a lot of other people, but you're going to be in this group. So go in the group and look through the messages, check them every day. You don't have to read every single thing, but the more you read, the more you know. Just kind of get an idea of what's going on. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them in there. Your admin group is a larger group, and you may have older teachers in there. Your mentor group are all going to be teachers that were hired around the same time. But your admin group is going to be a much larger group. And this is where your admin is basically the go-to person there. And there will be a lot of chatter in between where the admin speaks up and says something, but this is where the admin's going to post important announcements or answer questions that are asked. And you will have the benefit of having older, more experienced teachers in there as well. So these are really, really valuable tools and really valuable groups. When all else fails, though, if another teacher says something and you aren't totally sure if it's true or not, go to your mentor, because your mentor is the first point of contact that you should have whenever you have a problem. They're going to be able to help you and tell you whether or not this is something that has to go to the admin. They're going to be able to help you with all this stuff. So get to know your mentor and your admin groups. Know who they are, know who your mentor is, know who your admin is. Number 5, read the handbook. I can't even tell you, like, probably in my mentor group, when I first started a mentor group, 90% of the questions that are asked are things that are actually answered in the handbook. The handbook is your to-go guide. It has all of your rules, all of the policies that you are supposed to be following. It has everything in there that you need to know as a brand new teacher or even as an experienced teacher. So read the handbook. This is basically, so you're not in a contract with PalFish, but this is basically, if you were in a contract, it's everything that would be in your contract. Like, it's everything that is going to, everything that you have to follow, all the rules that you have to follow. It tells you a lot of the things that you need to know. Read the handbook. And if you have any questions about it, ask your mentor. Take this seriously. Put in the effort. So PalFish is a really cool job, and I happen to think it's really easy. It's something that I love. It is the best job that I've ever had. It allows me to have the flexibility to take care of my family and work full time and not have to drive in the snow, which I hate. So, you know, it is a really cool job, but it is also something you have to take seriously. By take it seriously and put in the work. Your mentor is going to tell you things that you can do to increase the number of bookings that you have. And if it's something that you seriously want, like if like you're like, okay, this is I want this to be my job. I want to be like Jill, and I want my full-time job to be sitting in my office at home, working off my iPad, teaching these awesome kids, then you need to do what Jill did. That's me. You need to do what I did. You need to put in the work, hold yourself accountable, and just like really make it happen. If your mentor tells you go and do some lives, then break out of that comfort zone and go and do some lives, because I promise you, they do help. That brings me to number 7, be accountable. So your mentor is really going to help you. They're going to guide you through the whole process. They're going to show you, you know, how to do things and give you tips and tricks. They're going to give you training videos, and they're going to be like all out there helping you guys. And keep in mind, your mentors and your admins are super, super busy. So appreciate everything that they give you, because I promise you, we're doing this out of the goodness of our hearts. I promise you. So be accountable. Your mentor and your admin are not responsible for making sure that you have bookings. I have no way to see your classes. I have no way to see what you have booked unless you show me. I have no way to watch your playbacks or anything like that. So what I mean by be accountable is if you're not getting the bookings that you want, do like a ton of training, watch your playbacks of your videos, and try different things. So one thing that I always suggest is if you're not getting the bookings that you want, do like a profile revamp. Change your profile picture, change your intro video. And if you are getting the bookings that you want, you can just keep those because it's obviously working for you. But I have had so many parents come to me and tell me that they chose me as their teacher simply because they liked my intro video. So that's kind of one of those things, like, I'm not sitting in the hot seat of your classroom. I don't know what your classroom's like. I don't know your classroom environment. I don't know your classroom teaching style. You can be doing every single thing on the list, but maybe you're not getting the bookings you want. And usually the reason for that has something to do with like your classroom environment, your teaching style, the way that you interact and form that relationship with the children and the parents. It can have something to do with like any of those. So my biggest tip to you is to be accountable. You are self-employed. This is your business. Consider yourself like a freelancer. If you want to be successful, you know, back to number 6, put in the effort and be accountable and figure things out. Try different things. Make it work for you. It might not always stick the first time, but you will find something. If you continuously improve yourself as a teacher and you continuously, you know, try different things and put your feelers out to see what works and doesn't work. You are responsible for your bookings. Your mentor is going to help you. They're going to guide you, but they can't do it for you. And we can't go through your profile and watch your classes and see, you know, so trainings. Trainings are awesome. They will teach you valuable things. I even learn trainings from the other mentors. Like, I will learn things from watching the other mentors because we all have different experiences. So trainings. And the other thing as far as like putting in the effort and being held accountable, that I feel is very important, is to create your office hours. So if you want to work from like 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, but you only have one class booked in there, then spend the rest of the hours that you have there that you want to be booked, spend the rest of the hours doing a training, doing a live, reading the handbook. Are you going to get paid for it? No. Will it pay off? Yes. So that's my suggestion for you. This is to be taken seriously. This is not one of those jobs where it's not a get rich quick scheme. This is an actual job, an actual the thing. I mean, you have to work for it. So just if you go in knowing this and being aware of it, I think you will be much better off in the long run. Number 8, know your tax laws for whatever country you live in, whatever state you live in. Consult a tax guy, especially if you plan on making this full time. Figure out what you're going to need, because I can tell you right now, like, I have to pay quarterly taxes. Taxes are not taken out. Yes, you are taxed. You are taxed. This is taxable income. So just make sure that you understand your tax laws. You don't have to do it as soon as you come in, but make sure you do it like after you start getting classes. Make sure that you are like fully aware of what you're going to be doing for taxes. And I highly recommend to set a portion of your income aside for the purpose of paying taxes. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb is 30%. It may be more, it may be less. I don't know. That's where you need to talk to a tax professional, because I am not one. I can just tell you what my tax professional said to me about taxes, but my situation might be completely different from yours. So make sure you talk to someone, especially if you plan on making this a serious gig. Number 9. Yes, this is 9 in Chinese. Number 9. You're going to be able to get a variety of different lessons. You might be getting regulars soon, which aren't going to be any of the trials that you've ever seen. So make sure that you're prepared for the lessons. Go in early, read through the lessons so you know what you're teaching, gather your props that can apply to that lesson, and be prepared to teach any kind of student that walks through your classroom and any kind of class, because it could be anything. It could be regular, it could be a trial, it could be a pre-K, it could be a level 4. So, you know, just be prepared to teach a variety of different things. And last but not least, but probably the most important, number 10, don't sleep in. So it is 11 o'clock at night, you're getting ready to go to bed, you look at your schedule, there's nothing on my schedule for tomorrow, I'm just gonna sleep in. All right, so you've got opened, you have available to book 5 o'clock in the morning. You wake up at 6 o'clock and you see that you missed your 5 and 5:30 classes. But I didn't have anything scheduled. It can schedule in the middle of the night. So you can sleep in. Like, by all means, feel free to sleep in. But before you sleep in, please make sure that you, like, clear your schedule. Close those slots so that you're not going to get an absence on your very first week. Because absences cost the company money. Absences cost you money, and absences, if you have enough of them, can cost you your job here at PalFish. So just make sure that you're not sleeping in, you're not missing classes, and you know, if you want to sleep in, go right ahead and close those classes and be prepared to work if you do have something open. Right, those are my tips for you. So now what I want you to do on your to-do list right now is go and change your default camera settings so that your cameras do not open first thing. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have anything else that you would like a little additional training on that maybe I don't have covered on my YouTube channel, please let me know and I will be sure to make a video for you. All right, guys, it was awesome to see you guys here on my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can get all of my awesome training and tips and tricks and everything that I know, because I brain dump all the time. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.